It's here. When movies stopped appearing in theaters, a void was created. From the blackness emerged the haunted hard drive. The drive contains the most painful films ever made. Its victims must watch until they can bear the pain no longer. Each is allowed to end one film at any time, which is a power that must be used wisely. This time, the drive contains the worst comedies of 2020. Now witness the after effects of the haunted hard drive.
I hate you.
Colonel Jack Hastings is our key back into the great now swing state of Wisconsin. He just doesn't know it yet.
The first one we watched was Irresistible, which is the new movie from Jon Stewart, featuring Steve Carell.
Joey, Jon Stewart directed it?
And wrote, I believe, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, Jon Stewart's a political comedian.
But that makes him even more sad because you would have thought Jon Stewart
would be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him directing it. It would have been better if he just put himself in the film.
So we watched 20 minutes of the movie, and I really felt like it should have been 10 because it was very thin material that was being stretched out a lot, which was disappointing because you'd think Steve Carell is a funny guy, and so is Jon Stewart. They have been funny on various occasions anyway.
They have. But the problem with it is that when I see Steve Carell now, I just think he's going to be Steve Carell. And the problem with that is that a lot of people will just typecast him into that role instead of just writing funny commentary that goes along with his Steve Carell-ness.
Right. There was no funny commentary in this. That, again, we only watched 20 minutes and we got bored. The few goofy jokes in there didn't really fit.
No, they didn't really land.
Do you have a bottle opener?
No, it's just a twist.
Oh,
twist off.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe he does need a bottle.
Maybe use
Probably.
your vest.
That was your daughter with her arm up the cow?
And a lot of them were very situational. And because of that, it was just dry humor where it's like, oh, isn't this a funny situation that you found yourself in? But there's no punch to it.
Right, because like the one thematic thing we noticed was at the beginning, there's like this little moving shot going through Steve Carell's bedroom.
Setting up his character, which is good.
And there's this high-tech stuff, and he seems to be struggling with it.
Yeah, he's yelling like, okay, character development, right?
Which, when juxtaposed with like all the old school political footage from previously, we're like, oh, so maybe he's like stuck in the past, he's not really hip anymore. So is he out of touch with politics right now? So something's gonna happen that like only he can, rise to the occasion for something? No, he's perfectly competent. He's the one who has the insight of seeing this one guy who's gonna be the new candidate. So like, they had all these like allusions to, oh, maybe there's some kind of theme going on here.
Yeah, and they drag it out so much. It's like we see every single little thing that he does. Like, I'm gonna get on the plane. I'm gonna get off the plane. I'm gonna go to the town. Like,
we're 20 minutes in, he didn't meet the guy.
Yeah.
He didn't meet the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No. What was the next one?
The next one we saw was The Wrong Missy.
That was the wrong movie.
So wait, so we should do
Oh no, it's Happy Madison! No! It was humor at someone else's expense. That's Adam Sandler's comedy. David Spade's character is in the bar, and fair enough, he mixes up that it's the wrong girl that he's supposed to meet at the bar, and then David Spade talks to the girl's supposed husband, and then they get into a fight, but David Spade's character is so cruel and mean to the guy. You would think that David Spade would just believe him and say,
oh, sorry, my mistake.
Yeah, exactly. But he's just incredibly unlikable. And then he goes and meets Missy. And then that's when it really just...
Nothing you could ever do would disappoint me. I love you.
This whole time I thought I was texting my dream girl. I was texting that crazy girl.
Incredibly infuriating, nothing to her character. It's the exact thing that I hate in a lot of modern day comedies where situational and it has nothing to do with the character and nothing to advance the overall plot or the story.
But it also wasn't weird enough to be funny.
Yeah.
Because in that first scene, they have a couple of weird things where like she goes into the men's restroom and like kind of slides on the door in a weird way. She has this giant knife. Like they're exaggerated enough to be like, okay, are you gonna try to go really weird with this character, like supernaturally weird, like you're a force of nature? But they don't. Like she sits down with the right Missy, I guess, which is some other girl who's supposedly perfect for him.
Right.
The mix-up is that he's like texting the wrong person in his phone.
I have a big problem with that. Yeah.
Like he didn't check to make sure it was the right person, apparently.
Yeah. Then they don't call each other to confirm that it's the wrong Missy or the right Missy.
Crazy. Wait, what's in this bag? What in the world?
It doesn't fit in a world where there's just someone who is just crazy and kooky, which is Missy, the wrong Missy. and everyone else is normal. Like it's just too far blown.
And it felt that way because everything else did feel so normal. Like a lot of it was presented like a regular kind of romantic comedy thing. Which leaves me wondering, why are these young women attracted to David Spade? This old, like, not sorry, David Spade, but like, come on.
It was just Adam Sandler saying like, hey, I know you haven't made movies in a while. Netflix gave me a deal to make 13 of these. Do you want to
kiss some hot girls? It was pretty not good.
Yeah.
So go and see The Wrong Missy in theaters now.
Why do you make a comedy and not put any jokes in it? Like,
Downhill.
So this was one of the actually more intriguing ones.
Yes.
Maybe we ski the beast after lunch.
Pete,
I don't think it'll be that challenging. It'll be fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
When I started watching this, I started thinking to myself, Will Ferrell's in this, so this has to be a comedy. In the opening, they have these avalanches, they're coming down, and then it shows Will Ferrell and his family, and I'm just making the connection in my brain, like something ominous is gonna happen, and there's no music playing at all, and you just think to yourself, this feels like a horror film. The tone was just so horror.
And then they say like, oh, there's no children in this town.
Yeah, that was so weird.
I'm curious, are there other kids around here?
No, not here. The town office, maybe minutes of 20 from here.
I was thinking to myself, what tone are they trying to go for? This obviously seems like a horror film, but then you throw in this person who seems kind of like a kooky, kind of funny, crazy person.
I wonder if those were all unintentional notes, because I got a clear message like you did. Like the first 15 minutes, there's so many things that make you think, this is like a secret horror movie or something.
Yeah, I thought it was a prequel to The Shining.
Yeah. So they constantly go back to these last charges that are being set off in the mountains, presumably for controlled avalanches to prevent a really bad
avalanches from happening.
Right. And they have trucks ominously going up in the darkness. And like the vague imagery you get with the two main characters, they speed through it without giving us any details. Which was really weird because we didn't get to know them well enough for these like...
No, for these undertones that they keep on setting up. But the undertones that they do set up, like the shots are well composed. The undertones are well made. There's a lot of really nice shots in it. And it's intriguing. And there's a lot of good subtle art going on there. But it's not enough because we don't really understand why their marriage is falling apart.
borrow yours.
What? I don't get cold here.
He can borrow mine.
It'll fly off. It doesn't fit it.
Then there's like 2 or 3 these like quirky, awkward, like squabbling scenes where they're arguing or they're like arguing with someone else, and it's so bad.
It's unfocused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to make this a legal matter between us? I don't. No, I don't want it. What I'm saying is what I don't want.
We stopped after 30 minutes, and we thought, we're kind of curious. Because of what
I was curious.
So maybe that goes in an interesting direction.
Yeah,
but we looked it up and we skipped through it.
We sped through it, and like at the very end, it doesn't end anywhere because we ended at the part where he goes up in the helicopter, and I was just thinking,
it's gonna crash.
Yeah, it's gonna crash. Like the kid's gonna get frostbite because they even set it up like, oh, the kid doesn't have a glove. Like, it's complete setup. Yeah, and then you speed through it, and then nothing happens, and then I was so shocked when I looked it up on my phone because I was just thinking, what is the tone of this? Black comedy. No.
No.
I didn't get that out of it, even though that's what they were aiming to do.
Yeah.
So.
Very weird.
Yeah. I think that was the longest one so far.
So far, yes.
So far.
But the next one was even longer.
What was that one?
It was the other Will Ferrell movie, Eurovision.
Oh, yeah. The one where Will Ferrell is actually Will Ferrell.
You have to prove to Iceland and my extremely handsome father that my life hasn't been a waste.
Certain aspects of it feel just like a Will Ferrell film, where it's just stupid humor.
That's where we tapped out. It was like after they kind of get to the main competition or the beginnings of it, then there's some dumb scenes that really start to lose their direction to me, and it feels more like what you'd expect from a typical...
It loses its uniqueness.
Yeah.
Because in this one, you have Will Ferrell and he's Icelandic. So that already
and
is
his
just
dad
kind of
is
funny.
Pierce Brosnan, which is great.
Pierce Brosnan with a giant beard, and you just think, oh, that's 007.
He's perfect. It's perfect.
At a certain point in the film, we're talking to each other and we're just saying like...
Kind of checking out. They fail their first tryout because there's like one contestant who everyone is expecting to win.
Right.
And then...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like, wait, so are they out of the competition?
Yeah, because they're on the side of the pier and then there's all these... the rest of the contestants are out on this boat and you can see them in the distance.
They're all partying on the boat.
Yeah, and Will Ferrell is just there and he's crying.
Now it's just getting into really stupid.
Whoa!
Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay.
The boy just explodes.
Yeah, it just explodes, and then not only that, but then it kind of puts a cherry on top of that cake by showing just a dismembered arm of the lead singer that's better than them. They're like, oh my God, it's Catalina. Yeah, Eurovision liked it. Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah, that was actually enjoyable.
We only really stopped because we wanted to keep going and get the other ones in.
Right. Well, and there was a point where it started sagging a little bit, but
Oh yeah, when they got to
yeah.
But maybe it picks up.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, so the next one we watched was Like a Boss.
We are two badass queens like those bitches who raised Wonder Woman. We've worked our asses off. We've opened up our own store. We're winning.
We're $493,000 in debt.
What the?
Well, we didn't laugh. I thought one of the lead actresses was kind of funny, but just in her the way she kind of emoted, I don't know what her name is. This one, I thought she was pretty funny.
Yeah, she had more of a character, it seemed. The other lady, she just kind of seemed like, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
This was one of the only ones that actually was communicating to us like, oh, these are these characters. There's this one that is just more concerned about the taxes and how they need to pay, and then the other one's just more concerned about just making a show for everybody. Yeah, the jokes weren't landing, they weren't sticking, especially the part with the cake.
Oh my God. Is this eating this poor baby doll's head?
No, that just wasn't funny. I felt like that it was someone went onto 4chan and showed me a photo of something. I was like, oh, that's not funny.
Didn't get a great impression, but I wasn't like in pain, but we did tap out after 10 minutes.
Yeah, that one's the most boring that we saw thus far.
Boring, yeah.
The most annoying one was the Wrong Missy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad I be planking. I'm sorry, white lady, if I die on you today.
We can't pass judgment on these films. We did not watch the whole films.
No, but at the same time, I think it's good to bring that up because you need to have a great, strong opening act in order to grasp your audience. So if you're not introducing us to something that's really good or really well made, then we're just not going to be that intrigued in it. You need that hook.
Next, My Spy, featuring Dave Bautista.
Yeah, that guy, Drax, he has the swords.
Well, I think in all of his movies, he's good at killing people.
I just don't think you're cut out for the intelligence. This is your last shot.
Are you CIA?
How'd you get in here?
Oh, because she has a camera, she might be streaming.
You saw Christian Shaw in this, you're like, hey, it's Missy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, she looks the same.
Looks very similar.
You know what it felt like to me? It felt like a movie that would have been made back in the 90s with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
That's exactly what this felt like. It's like, oh, Dave Bautista, he's starting to get big. He's kind of like the new Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we should put him in that role. But I didn't get the feeling of charisma that he had, like Arnold Schwarzenegger had, because Arnold Schwarzenegger was just kind of like this big, lovable, goofy actor guy who's not that great at acting. Dave Bautista, I feel like, is actually more competent.
Yeah, he's a better actor.
Yeah, he's a much better actor.
There's like a charisma that Schwarzenegger has.
No, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have that presence. It was forgettable.
They've made movies like this with like every big action hero. At some point, like after their peak of action movies, they're like, all right,
let's try to revive them.
Yeah, we're gonna give you like a kind of a dumb comedy movie where you're paired up with a little kid. They've done that with like all of these people. It's very common.
Yeah.
Again, not terrible, but did not grab us within 10 minutes at all. This and Like a Boss were both just boring. Like they both didn't really have any laugh moments. Didn't really have any.
There was nothing that made it stand out.
No, nothing interesting.
I just wanna break the rules.
All right. After this, we watched Scoob, the animated ScoobyDoo.
Like Zoink Scoob.
That's a better voice than was in the movie.
Yeah.
We're in
IKEA.
the Falcon Fury. Did you say IKEA?
Nope.
I'm Fred. This is Velma. Hi. And that's Daphne. Hey. I'm Shaggy. And this is Scooby-Doo.
Nice to meet you.
They keep doing like different cartoons, I think, of Scooby-Doo. I believe they've kept doing them.
I just find it so interesting that it's still relevant up to this point.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it though? Like
maybe they think like, oh, it's making money, but maybe it's not.
This felt so like stuck in the past. Like they redid the whole intro from the original cartoon. They redid it in like the CG.
Well, you do something like that if you are a die-hard old school Scooby-Doo fan. Are little kids really going to care that much that you put it in there?
That's the thing. That's what you target a nostalgic property to older people with. Not who's nostalgic for Scooby-Doo? Is that an audience? Maybe. I don't know.
I think that you can make good, well-made children's films. There's a bunch of them out there. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
But you can make a children's film stupid and goofy and whatever and just throw it out there and it's fine. Like a lot of kids will just eat it up.
Just because kids don't realize their minds are being polluted by bad movies doesn't mean they're not being polluted by bad movies.
Yeah.
Parents should expect better. We spent the first like 15 minutes on the kid versions, which this really contrived, like, we just happen to meet each other and become friends.
It was weird because it really just seemed like the backstory to Scoob and Shaggy.
Hey! This mangy stray's coming with me.
He's not a stray.
Okay then, what's his name?
His name's Scooby.
20 minutes of that and we were out. Oh, we didn't mention that's extremely cringy Simon Cowell cameo thing.
Oh,
what
right.
the heck?
Yeah. As soon as he came on, I was thinking, why is he in here? And you actually brought up a good point, though, because, well, maybe they're following the old...
Yeah, like in some of the series of ScoobyDoo, they had a lot of, like almost every episode, I think, had celebrity cameos. But this?
Whoa, man! It's Simon Cowell!
It's like the first thing that happens when we see them as adults is Scooby and Shaggy get kicked out.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially.
Okay, so we don't see any development of their relationship. They don't really establish the characters in the modern day because we spent 15 minutes with them as kids.
Yeah, because they have cell phones now and all that. It's just
weird. And then they like go off to the bowling alley and this like
and
robots,
then,
and
robots and
aliens.
Oh yeah, then it turns into aliens.
So the bad guy's plan is to open the gates to the underworld and a shrine to his dog Muttley, Dastardly and Muttley from like this cartoon. You remember those cartoons?
What?
So those are the bad guys in this movie, and it's actually involving like hell and supernatural stuff. Okay, so this bothers me because the cool thing about the old cartoons was that there's no ghosts.
Right.
It's always about uncovering the unknown and getting to like the real thing, like not believing people's BS.
Right.
That was a great like overall theme of the old show. In the last like 20 years, I guess, they've had a lot of Scooby-Doo movies and stuff. I've seen a couple of
the live action ones, like Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I didn't see those. Do they have actual ghosts in them?
Yeah, yes, like real monsters.
Yeah, and they did that in some of the animated ones too.
It kind of ruins the entire message of it.
Yeah, it's contradicting the whole thing that it's all about. So, the Jesus rolls.
I've never seen anyone lick a ball before you throw a strike.
That's my style.
You look good.
I look like $1 million, son.
We watched 10 minutes of it. And
that was no. That one, no. Okay,
nothing.
I haven't seen the rest of it, and I can just say no. There's an inadvertent crime with him and a little boy in the bathroom, and it's a tasteless joke, and it's bad. It's so bad that it just made me want to turn it off. And this is apparently supposed to be like the sequel to Big Lebowski.
It's like a spin-off.
A spin-off, yeah, that's a better way of putting it. Yeah, and I just it didn't have the charm. It was like the shots were so bizarre.
Yeah.
No, it was bad. It was bad.
And not like interesting bad, just
bad.
So we got 10 minutes through that, and I did not. Capping off our wonderful night of cinema viewing, journey of voyage of.
Are you Dr. Dolittle?
I was so hoping that it would be a Crimes of Grindelwald movie because you just hear all of this backstory to what went on behind the scenes and how bad
difficulties
it was.
And
and the director apparently was just like not having it and no one really liked him and all that, and I was just hoping that it would just be like it was a mess. Yeah, well, actually, in the beginning, it was kind of like that because you see Robert Downey Jr. and he's talking to all of his animals. He goes, this, you're like,
yeah, it was good. There were some good moments.
There was, and I was hoping that throughout the rest of the film, he would just continue to talk to his animals like that.
Yeah, that would have been amusing.
It would have,
even if nothing else was. We gave it 30 minutes.
We thought it was going to be something good,
like The Crown Jewel, where it'd be something funny to talk about.
Yeah, like trash, but
it wasn't. Like there was those funny moments where he's making funny noises, and then there was the weird moment where because of the production difficulties, I think they forgot
about certain things. Yeah. Because there's one part where the little boy just shows up and then they never address it. Robert Downey Jr. is just like, oh, hello.
But then when they get back to the carriage afterwards, he says,
I'm going with you.
Certainly not. It's far too treacherous.
I'm your apprentice.
But also, he didn't do anything when he was there, right? He just stood around.
Yeah, he just stood there. Yeah, I don't think.
But he has a line like, "But I was so helpful in there." No, you weren't.
Yeah. If you watch the trailer versus this actual film, the trailer makes it seem to be this adult finding yourself kind of big, extravagant adventure that you're going onto and just really deep and meaningful.
Learn much more than I.
It's okay to be scared.
And then it turns out to be just a kid's film that's not very well put together.
Oh, what a wonderful world.
Bad. I hate trailers that make that do that where they make it seem like something else and then you go and see it like, what is this? Life of Pi did that to me and that messed me up for life.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailers for that?
No.
The trailers were always just like, oh, look at this mystical, wondrous, amazing adventure that you go on. And I take my wonderful mother who loves animals to go see it. First 20 minutes, no, I am a horrible, horrible person. Why did I do this? Yeah, we didn't use our band hammers on anything. I would have used it on The Wrong Missy.
In retrospect, you would have.
I feel like if it was towards the end, I would have done it because we sat through so much of it, of all these films.
That's the trick, if you use it too early.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. Did you want to use it at any point?
None of these movies angered me enough that I'd like have to get out of it right now. So even The Wrong Missy was not enjoyable, but it was the most annoying.
It was the most annoying.
Yeah.
I would say the one that I am most willing to revisit is Eurovision.
Yeah, that's the only one I would sit down and watch. I'm surprised too, but it was pretty well done. There were some funny moments.
Yeah, I was surprised because I just thought it was just going to be stupid Will Ferrell comedy because there's a lot of stupid comedies out there that are just stupid comedy but aren't really funny.
So tune in next week as we watch 8 more movies, just like the